On January 25, 2011, hundreds of thousands of Egyptians packed Tahrir Square in Cairo, demanded the resignation of then-President Hosni Mubarak. For 3 weeks, Mubarak clung to power. He fired cabinet ministers and promised reforms, but he refused to meet the main demands of the crowds on the street, which had grown to millions nationwide. Mohammed Saeed was among the protesters, documenting what he saw as an historic moment.
I still remember some scenes of those days. One of them when I was filming inside the demonstrations. I was astonished to see one of my friends shot and injured during the clashes that took place. It was extremely difficult and horrible feeling to see my friend and to do my job at the same time. We felt that we were doing something great in Egypt. We felt we were documenting the history. We were aspiring for the freedom of speech and respecting the other's opinion.
Government security forces grew, trying to disperse the crowd, but the people wouldn't give in, and chants of "Down with Mubarak" got even louder. Finally, 18 days later, on February 11, 2011, Mubarak resigned and handed over power to the military.
The January Revolution broke out against the injustice, dictatorship, favoritism and muzzling of political opponents and against the brutal ruling class. Before the revolution, we didn't feel Egypt to be our country. The January Revolution was about to achieve its goals, but they tampered with people's and leaders' minds. The course of the revolution was deviated.
But Egypt's post-revolution era of democracy didn't last long. Its first democratically elected leader, Mohamed Morsi, was overthrown in a military coup just 12 months later. He died under suspicious circumstances last year during his trial on espionage charges. His party, the Muslim Brotherhood, was outlawed as a terrorist group. Hundreds of supporters were arrested, with many facing the death penalty. But the arrests have extended well beyond the Muslim Brotherhood supporters. The Egyptian government appears to be targeting journalists, leading activists, and any critics of President Sisi. In April 2019, the Egyptian parliament approved a constitutional reform that extends Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's term to 2024 and permits re-election. Human Rights Watch says the referendum approved by Egyptian voters that extends the president's term was unfair and unfree. The anti-government protests in late 2019 shows 9 years on, not much has changed, and the people of Egypt are still looking for ways to bring down the current regime. Sena Saylan, TRT World.